Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am.
Testing.
Start your show now. Press 1 to hear important instructions.
Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
I don't even know if I can do this way. I'm going to try it.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am.
There it is. There it is. Here it is. What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black at Night show. Glad you could make it. And I'm hoping that we're making it. I'm hoping that everything's cool. What's going on Facebook? Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and YouTube people in the house. Yeah. Tonight is Freedom Friday. That's when you get to call up on the show and you get to voice your mind. Tell people what what's going on in your world, what you think is important, some important facts or news, and whatever your opinion is. It's all good. Opinions are welcome here on the Freedom Friday show. As always. So, This show is brought to you by TBTV. That's Tim Black Television, as well as justinformed.com. Justinformed.com. A social media site that does not ever spy on you or sell your data or invade your privacy. We're there because we are activists and journalists and commentators and socially aware, and we want to talk about issues, and it's a great platform to do that. So go to justinformed.com and become a member of that platform. So, party people. Wow. You know what? I'm going to make sure we're getting this on YouTube. I think we are, but you never really know. There go my YouTube people. Give it up for Susan. Susan's in the house. Mayors, JM, Stephanie Chateau. Shot of the green room. Yes, it was. You want to see that shot again of the green room? The green room. What we got over here? The green room. Yeah, and we got a couple of locations going on. Let's see. Check this one out. Here goes another one. Bam! The brick wall. Yeah. Bam, bam, bam. Ooh, bam. We're all over the place here at the YouTube, at the Tim Black Show. So look, guys, I'm going to talk about it because it needs to be talked about, man. And see, this is the quandary that we find ourselves in, because when your goal is to tell the truth, you just got to tell the truth, man. Look, guys, I think it's just categorically just like definitely scumbaggery, right? Let me start by first saying, of course, what happened in Annapolis, Maryland was horrible. I mean, it doesn't get any more. I mean, it does get more horrible, but it's on the level of horribleness. If there was a scoreboard of 1 to 10, this would be a 10, at least. Innocent people had their lives taken. This is horrible. It's despicable. It's what are the words to define it? What, when you think about innocent people going to work to do their jobs, have done nothing to this perpetrator, this killer, and they don't get to come home to their families. I don't even know I can't even imagine what's worse than that. I mean, there's other things that can happen, but I mean, people got murdered by a guy. And before we get into the what's and whys, let's just say that. And we're not going to say his name. We're just going to call him a killer. Okay? Let's just leave it at that. You know, let the news, the cable news make him famous. We don't need to make him famous. Annapolis killer. That's it. But 2 points. The first point I always have to bring up because I know that I reach a lot of people depending on, you know, the day. Freedom Friday does pretty good. We reach a lot of people on Freedom Friday. You know, it's always ironic to me, and I know some of you, all you people that are fair-minded out there, all you good people that you just call things as you see them. Of course, we only know what we've experienced in our lives. Like, it's hard to know things you don't know about unless you've either experienced it, had a close friend that you trust tell you, or if you've done research. It's hard to know what other people think and what's going on with their lives. But I'll tell you, as Tim Black, as your friend, as this person that you turn to for both entertainment and news and updates on information, it's always difficult when I see people who will see that a killer, such as the Annapolis killer, could slay 5 people but be taken without a problem, be taken into custody. And I saw him, and he had a little tiny scratch on his nose. That's it. And then we'll see somebody like, I don't know, Antoine Rose, who gets shot 3 times in the back running with no gun in his hand, and he hadn't shot anyone, and no one, you know, it's just always very troubling, you know? It's always very troubling when people don't see what other people see. It's like, you don't see that? Well, that's a different police department, Tim Black. That's one of the same people. Well, they wear the same uniform. Like that's the problem, right? Like, let you go. Okay, put it this way. If it was anything else, right? Let's say it's just, I don't want to call out any particular restaurant, but let's make up a name of a restaurant. Let's call it the battery charger restaurant, right? And they got a chain of restaurants. Okay? Battery charger restaurant, chain of restaurants around the country. What would you do if one of the battery chargers restaurants you went to gave you food poisoning? Just what would you think? You would think, wow, that's bad. I went to this battery charger restaurant and I got food poisoning. And I'm pissed off about it. And I'm not going back to that restaurant. Right? When you think that, what if you think that? You would think you're not going. Now, let's imagine that it wasn't just that one restaurant, that other battery charger restaurants also have reports of food poisoning. How many reports of food poisoning would it take before you start telling people, don't go to the battery charger restaurant? I don't care where you are. If you need something to eat, don't go to the battery charger restaurant. Just don't do it. If you got to pack a lunch, pack a lunch. If you can hold it, just hold it. You've been hungry before. Just bear down. Bite down on this pen. Do not go to the battery charger restaurant. They're killing people with the food. See, that's how people see cops. A lot of people see cops that way. Because, you know, and look, it wouldn't even take you having to go. You just hear of the story of the battery charger restaurant poisoning people. You'd be like, I ain't going there. I don't trust the battery charger restaurant. But for some reason, because their cousin is a cop, because their daddy was a cop, because they want to be a cop, because they watched the cop movie, back when they was a kid, they used to play cops and robbers. For some reason, people don't want to apply common sense, like the natural reaction to this stuff. Now just imagine that the battery charger restaurant tends to, food poison black people more than anybody else. You'd be like, what? You'd be like, at some point, you'd be like, you know what? Black people need to stop going to the battery charger restaurant. And that's our cops. That's how it works. All right? Just look at it another way. Just look at it another way. But I like the Battery Charger restaurant. Always wanted to grow up and own a Battery Charger restaurant. My cousin worked for the Battery Charger restaurant. It was great. He enjoyed it. He was an alcoholic. He beat his wife. He cheated on his taxes. Always last picked in sports. He got picked on in school. All right, so that's one part of it. So yeah, that's something that we see about this Annapolis killer that bothers a lot of people. It's like, what's this guy doing alive? What are you doing living? Okay, so that's one thing. But now let's move on to the other thing, because we could talk about that every time. There's a shooting. We could talk about that. Why? I'm not going to ask you why they blaming Trump for this. All I'm going to say is, because that's what you do in politics. And to my friends who keep saying, Tim Black, run for something, Tim Black. You need to run for office. Run for something. See, this is why, of all the good I would love to do, that I think I would do, and all the people that I think I could touch and bring important light to issues, it really bothers me, guys, because you see what the Democrats are doing right now. It's not all Democrats. It's not every Democrat. They go Democrat. They go Democrat. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. No. It's certain ones, right? No, it's never an absolute. Whenever I talk about Republicans, it's not an absolute. When I talk about Democrats, it's not absolute. When I talk about progressives, it's not absolute. When I talk about Democratic Socialists, it's not absolute, right? And yes, I say the word Democratic Socialist. I'm never speaking in absolutes, so please. But see what they have to do? See what they're doing, some of these Democrats? They're blaming Trump for the guy who shut up the newsroom. They're blaming Trump for it. And I know why they're doing it. They're doing it for political expediency. They're doing it because they can. They're doing it because the other side would blame them if they had an opportunity to, and they do blame them for everything they can. It's the blame game. There ain't nothing but a lot of blaming going on all the time, whether it's warranted or not warranted. No one cares. No one cares about that. What they care about is, right now, we got a chance to put some points on the board. We need to put them points on the board. Right now, we need to score on this drive. It's like football. We need to score on this drive. If you playing against another team, it's like, we got to take advantage of all their weaknesses. And right now, they look weak. Right now, we got an opportunity to take advantage of this and blame him. And so that's what's going on. All I want to say, guys, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you may have known this, but I'm just going to say, just in case you haven't had a chance to follow up on the nooks and crannies of the story, the man who shot up this newsroom and killed 5 people, and he intended to kill a lot more people than 5 people. He did not come there with smoke bombs and other undetonated bombs or whatever else he had just to shoot 5 people. He wanted to kill more than 5 people. In fact, he tried to hide under a desk and pretend he was an employee afterwards. He had a plan. This man had an axe to grind with that particular newspaper for a story that they wrote 3 years prior. He had a previous feud going on with this newspaper for years because of an article that they ran that included him and named him because he was stalking a woman to the point back in like 2011 where she was fearful of her life. She got a restraining order. They had met on Facebook. They had a good relationship. Then it went bad. He would not let go. He kept on it. He kept on it. He kept on it. Threatening emails, threatening texts, threatening messages, threatening everything, right? To the point where she had to file that restraining order. She also, and somehow the newspaper got a hold of the story and they ran a story about the guy. She was so afraid of this guy, not last year, not 2 years ago, but like 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, to the point where she moved out of the state of Maryland. She moved. She had to say, "I'm getting out of here. This guy is hard. I'm afraid for my life." Not only was she afraid for her life, the newspaper, the president of the newspaper, I guess the director of the newspaper, during the time when they ran the article, he was afraid for his life. He was afraid for his life. They always knew if anyone shut up the newspaper, it would be this guy. They interviewed the former director of the newspaper. He said he was afraid for his life. He was afraid for his kids' lives. He was afraid for all his workers' lives. He was afraid. They've been afraid of this guy for years. But there was nothing they could do without him doing something. And that's the way our system is set up. You can't just preemptively, like there's just so much police can do until you do something, until someone does something to you. Okay? So the idea that this person was nudged by Trump, anyone that can be nudged to go kill 5 people and try to kill many more people than just the 5, to kill anyone, right, is a person who's already psychologically unstable. Let's just get that right. Let's just keep that real. And if we don't, we have to accept that's true. Okay, just accept that a person that would do that has already had so many issues. Like they called him a bitterness hoarder. He's a bitterness collector. He collected all his bitter and rage up over the years. He's just building it up and piling it up and storing it up, and then boom. And it wouldn't have mattered if Trump was in office or if Obama was in office or if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was in office, or if Mitt Romney was in office, or if Nico House was in office, or if Tim Black was in office, or if Lumpy Louise was in office. He was going to snap at some point. It would just be whoever happened to be there at the time. So the thing is this. When they blame Trump for this guy because of Trump's rhetoric about fake news, I would say that there are times that Trump's been right. There's times Trump has been wrong about that label. All news about Trump isn't fake news. Sometimes they leave stuff out, though. And sometimes it is not accurate, okay? But this is the worst shooting of journalists in the history. Gosh, and we don't know. They had the Charlie Hebdo thing, right, in Europe, right? I think it was London. I remember that. But we're talking about the United States. So, yes, this is horrible, as we stated. But tying it to Trump to score political points, it just makes you look horrible. It makes you look, I mean, it is what it is. Politics is such a dirty game. It's so horrific what we do, what they do. And then when we pay attention to it and we see it, we're like, oh, we're disgusted. We're disgusted by this. So I call things as I see them. If I thought that this person was, what's the word, radicalized by Donald Trump's tweet or Donald Trump's rhetoric on the campaign trail when he calls out CNN or MSNBC, I would say it. I have no reason not to. You guys know I'm only able to do this because of my Patreons. So I'm not doing this to support Trump. I'm telling you that there is no connection that I've seen. In fact, there was a reporter who made a joke on Twitter that the shooter wore a MAGA hat. And that was totally false. He just said it because he thought it was a good thing to say to hurt Trump, and then he lost his career. So they fired him. They got rid of him. They got rid of him because you don't need that type of rhetoric. But see, I understand it because, the Maxine Waters thing is going on, and I guess the Democrats are looking for a little cover for that. They're saying like anything happens, like anybody punches a Republican or a conservative of any stature, they're going to say it's because Maxine Waters gave that speech in D.C. that they showed over and over and over and over. Like there were only like maybe 300 people. I don't know how many people were there at the rally in D.C. that Maxine Waters, when she gave the speech about, pushing back on these Trump administration, not Trump voters, but Trump administration officials. If you see them out at the gas station, if you see them at the airport, wherever you see them, approach them and draw a crowd and push back on them. That was what she said. And that is saying anything that happens, they're going to blame Maxine Waters for it, who, by the way, is getting death threats right now. Maxine Waters had to cancel an event because credible death threats have been made against her life. And then we all know Sarah Huckabee Sanders has now got Secret Service detail guarding her because of the incident where she got pulled, where she was told to leave the restaurant. And someone said, Tim, she was not only told to leave the restaurant, the people that told her to leave the restaurant followed her out the door, and then they said mean things to her when she went across the street or whatever. And I'm like, well, did they put their hands on her? Did they touch her? What did they do? They just said things. Look, man. And look, I'm saying this as somebody who is not, I'm not a celebrity, nothing even close to it. Some people know me, all right? That's celebrity. Like Sarah Huckabee Sanders is on TV every day. Our politics is highly volatile. It's very polarized. It's very divisive. It's all these things, right? That's a tough job for anybody to have. If you had that job, if you have a job in the public eye where you're talking about politics, you got to, come on, guys. Come on now. Now, I do not support someone kicking you out of an establishment just like, Come on, look at me. Come on now. I've been kicked out of places. They didn't say I was because I was black, but, they might have had something to do with it sometimes, okay? So I'm not for that, right? But here's the thing, man. If you are a celebrity, if you are someone who's in the public eye to that degree, she's on TV every day. People are going to feel a certain type of way about you. People are going to, that happened before Maxine gave her speech. That Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked to leave that restaurant before the speech. So once again, we do the thing where we blame people and all this stuff, right? So that's why I think they're saying that if this killer maybe have been inspired by Trump, they did the same thing with other shootings that have happened. I don't know what they blame Dylan, the other shooter in South Carolina. I don't know how they framed that one. Was that during Trump's run? When there were shootings that were racially motivated, or there was a racial element of, that means everybody wasn't black and everybody wasn't white, they would say, well, the white people are pushing back because Obama's in office. It's like we racialize everything. And sometimes it can be, but sometimes you just got a-holes, right? Assholes, right? Sometimes people are just evil people. Like you can just be evil. That exists too, all right? So it's just ridiculous, man. So when you say, Tim, politics, I cover it a lot. I see this type of stuff a lot. It never ceases to disgust me when I see politicians using tragic events to score political points. Both sides do it. Both sides do it. Definitely. But that's why when people say, Tim, they think that they're polar opposites. They think, well, if the Democrats are good, then Republicans are bad. Or if the Republicans are bad, the Democrats are good. I go, look, politics is a dirty business. It is not wiffle ball. It's not tag. It's not freeze tag. It's not flag football. No, this is smash mouth, dirty tactics all the time. That's what it is. So, as usual, my condolences to the families and to the friends and to the co-workers, the children of the people that were murdered. And then goes the gun debate comes up again, right? That conversation never ceases, right? And there's as much violence as we have in this country, that's a conversation you could have every day because every day somebody's doing something with a gun. So it's part of what America is. It's just part of what it is. And until people have the fortitude to, come up with something, I don't know if we ever really solve it. So I don't even want to go there because it's pointless. I mean, at least I don't have the energy for it tonight. There's been other nights, guys, I've gone on rants about it. I'm not going to do that tonight. It's just enough to talk about the way people are using death right now. It's just a horrible thing, guys. It's just completely horrible, right? All right. Another thing that bothered me this week was, okay, so we had this victory. A victory for sort of like the changing of the guard in New York, right? 14th District, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she wins an election. She wasn't expected to win. Of course, the establishment all betted against her. All of them, every single last one, except only one person from the establishment, which is a Congressman Ro Khanna, gave her a half endorsement. Like, that's the only person that gave her any play at all in Congress or in the Senate. Only one. Well, she had a stunning upset of a 10-term, 20-year incumbent, very powerful, in line to take Nancy Pelosi's job, John Crowley. So we know that happened, right? It's great. In fact, I found out that she won on this show on Tuesday. I was doing a live show. I was looking at my chat, and my chat told me, they said, Tim, guess what? You're not going to believe it, Tim Black. Guess what just happened, Tim Black? It's amazing. And we were able to celebrate that and discuss it. And then right behind that, Ben Jealous won for the state of Maryland, the Maryland Democratic primary. Right behind it. And there were some other wins, too. That were very notable of progressive-type policies that, policies like Medicare for all, a single payer, some form of a way to cover everyone with health insurance, 2-year college, ending the drug war, legalizing cannabis. Like, there were other candidates that ran with similar platforms, basic, UBI, basic income, a number of ending wars, interventionist wars, internet, shutting down the criminal justice complex, prison industrial complex. So, military industrial complex, the whole thing. So there was some great wins. But it wasn't even 24 hours after that we started to see not only naysayers come out, people that were just poo-pooing the whole thing, like, poo-poo. Poo-poo. So what? It doesn't change everything. It's still the Democratic Party. So what? When was the last time somebody with those types of platforms, those types of issues, that we agree, I guess you agree, person, naysayer, poo-poo person, won on the Republican side? I'm just asking. I'm just looking. You making it seem like we got a whole bunch of alternatives. We're trying to build the Green Party. We're trying to build the People's Independent Party. We're trying to do these things. But right now, this is where we are, and we'll take a win where we can get a win. What's wrong with these people? What planet? Now, I thought we were on Earth. You must be on that new planet I heard about called skepticism. You live on planet skepticism in the orbit of, I don't give a damn. I'm pissed off about everything. I'm never going to be even the least bit optimistic or supportive about anything that happens because I just want to poo-poo on everything. Goodness gracious, this is an upset. Some people, like this is the upset of the year so far, definitely. Political upset of the year, definitely, absolutely, positively. And it's nothing. So what? So what? Who cares? I don't care. This means nothing. You still got Nancy Pelosi in there. So Debbie Wasserman Schultz still in position of, this has nothing to do with that. One race at a time, man. One race at a time. Can we do one thing at a time? One thing at a time. But no, we cannot. We're still upset. So to all those people out there I ain't even get started yet on the conservatives calling Alexandria Trump. Like, they're comparing her to Trump. I'm like, what? What? Comparing her to Trump? And they're like pitting her against Trump. I saw Nico did a video about that. I was like, oh my God, these people just don't, they just have to have something to say. It's like, okay, pull something out of your ass and just say something about whatever's going on in the news cycle. Okay, well, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Okay, put her together with Trump or immigration or border or something else is going on. Did Wendy's come out with a new burger? Put her with the burger. Like, throw everything together so it all gets the news cycle is what I'm trying to tell you. That's what they do. I mean, if Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez reminds you of Donald Trump in any way, you really need an eye checkup. Your reading comprehension level, you definitely need that. You need to buckle down, get on those ABCs, learn how to read. I don't know. You need to do something, get an interpreter, do something, because there is nothing remotely similar about them at all. Like nothing. Not zero. There's nothing. What Trump, 70-year-old old white guy, rich guy, billionaire, from a 28-year-old millennial Puerto Rican, a teacher, a former bartender, former Bernie Sanders, like activist. I mean, like what? How are they? How are they similar? And there's this guy who used to be a contributor for MSNBC. He's a Republican dude. He's worked on campaigns like the Bush campaign. He recently quit being a Republican. And like, okay, cool, if that's what you want to do. But it's like he's expecting, like, I don't know, like people to throw confetti and, send them presents and gift cards and throw his big ass on their shoulders and carry him around D.C. I mean, dude, you left the party, so what? So what? The Republican Party didn't get corrupt last week. It didn't just get corrupt because Trump won. In fact, they didn't want Trump to win, but he won. So I don't know how corrupt they are. I mean, they're corrupt as the Democrats, but maybe in different ways. But come on, let's not act like there wasn't a dysfunctional party to begin with. I mean, the Tea Party took over your party for a reason. You didn't leave then. You didn't leave when having these Tea Party people were out there going, oh, they're the blacks. Oh, they're the blacks. And you're doing all that shit. You didn't. That was fine with you. That was fine. You were cool with it. Like, hey, this is all right. Don't care about the party of, oppose same-sex marriage, oppose civil, all of the voting rights, all of these problems that, like, abolishing voting rights policies that have undergirded and supported that, trying to make America a more fairer country. I mean, Republicans have done some devious things, extremely devious things. But now, all of a sudden, because Trump is actually putting a face to that and standing on saying, hey, this and saying, hey, that, like, uh-oh, I got to leave now. It's sort of like the rich Hollywood types that was like, if Trump wins, I'm leaving the country, because, he's going to be deporting people. I'm like, well, Obama was deporting people. Yeah, but that's different when shut up. Don't talk to me about, there you go, bringing up old stuff. No, this was just, you're talking about leaving now that Obama's still in office and you talking about leaving. I'm just telling you, last month, Obama was deporting people. You just read that Hollywood, Vogue, what do you read anything? No, I don't. So that's what this guy sounds like. He sounds like one of these Hollywood people who threatened to leave the country because Trump got elected. And then they didn't go anywhere, of course, but it's just, who gives a shit, man? If you're going to leave, leave. Dude, leave the Republican Party. Just don't think that joining the Democratic Party is a solution. That's what I tell regular people who are not looking to get airtime and get notoriety by announcing something that's personal that we don't really give a crap about. Joe Scarborough did the same thing. I'm leaving the Democratic Party. No, I'm leaving the Republican Party. I don't know what party you in, Joe Scarborough, but I know that part of the reason why Donald Trump got elected was all the coverage you and Mika used to give him every morning when he was in his bathrobe calling into your show. That I know. And then when things got sour with Joe Scarborough, then all of a sudden you grew this conscience when you start talking crap about your wife, your girlfriend. That's when you like, hey, oh, whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. When the relationship went bad and the ratings, after you got all these ratings for having Trump on all the time, all of a sudden now, oh, he's bad, evil, I'm leaving the Republicans. So You know. It's just hypocrisy, and it's just politics. That's what it is. It's hypocritical politics, always around, all around. We're about to go to phone lines. I just want to say for the Supreme Court, as you know, Justice Kennedy is about to retire. His last day will be July 31st. It's just a couple of days. Donald Trump was saying, July 31st, right? July 31st. Well, Trump wants to have a successor in place, a replacement in place by July 9th. I think that's what he said. Okay, so he's already interviewing people to take Kennedy's place. It's to be noted that this is a big deal. It's a big deal because Kennedy serves as sort of like a swing vote. You got 4 conservatives, you got 4 liberal kind of, and then you got this guy. And you got Kennedy. And Kennedy kind of, he does this, he just kind of sways back and forth. He's like the tiebreaker, right? And you never know what he's going to do. Like, if it wasn't for Justice Kennedy, there probably wouldn't be same-sex marriage, right? There probably would not have been a couple of things. He would not have been some of our immigration laws, voting rights, certain rulings, certain decisions that he has made over the time. So there's a lot that can be, a lot of gain that can be gained. There's a lot of ground that can be lost behind Kennedy's retirement, depending on who is replacing him. And there's some people that Donald Trump is considering for that position. Of the 25 people, and 25 people on Trump's list, 6 of them are women. 4 are 10th Circuit Judge Allison Eade, 6th Circuit Judge Joanne Larson, Court of Appeals of the Armed Forces Judge Margaret Ryan, 7th Circuit Judge Diane Sykes were on his list released during the 2016 presidential campaign. 7th Circuit Judge Amy Barrett, Georgia Supreme Court Justice Britt Grant. Those are the 6. It says one person familiar with the White House thinking said officials were keen on picking a woman and were closely vetting Barrett and Eade. I think that's Eade. Allison Eade, okay? Another Republican close to the White House said attention was focused on about 5 potential justices or nominees, with Barrett as the only woman on that list. So it's a big deal, guys. It's expected to be highly contested in the Senate. And look, what can you do? What can we as regular citizens do? I'm not sure what we can do. A lot is on the table. And of course, this just begins the entire process of the blame game for who is, like we started off, the title of the show was Blame Game. Who they're going to blame now? They're blaming, the 2016 all over again. It's like every time there's something like this, whether it be a Supreme Court justice or whether it be a policy that they don't like, they say, see, it's that Susan Sarandon. Oh, it's Susan Sarandon did it. Oh, they say that Jill Stein did it. Oh, that Bernie Sanders, it's all his fault. Never do they go back and say, maybe we should have ran a different candidate. Never even crossed their mind. Never even crosses the mind that they ran the wrong candidate. That, yes, there were people who would have voted against, not for Trump, if you had not ran Hillary Clinton. They proved it because, you know how they proved it? I don't need to be a psychic to come to this conclusion, because the same thing happened in 2008. Right? You ran a candidate. It wasn't Hillary. Why? Because the people didn't want Hillary. Guess what? The people didn't want Hillary again in 2016. In fact, I think a lot of people wanted her less than they wanted her in 2008. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think she had a better shot in 2008, but she could not defeat Obama. She couldn't rig it against Obama. Obama had, and don't think they didn't try. Don't think she didn't try. But Obama had some pull within that party too, just not as much as Hillary. So the blame game is in full swing, guys. They're going after it. It's the same. It's the same thing. And of course, they're not starting to the beginning of how Donald Trump became president. They're just looking at the race and who voted at the very end of the process. No one's looking at all of the crap. Like, no, they're not looking at, they don't even look at what happened in 2012, what happened in 2013. In fact, it started before then. No one looks at what happened in 2009. No one looked at 2010. No one looked at 2011, 12. Like, the things that led up to 2016 are not just the freaking election. Like, by that point, when it's time to go vote, if you haven't done everything else, it ain't about that day. It's not about that day. That's the day you get to take the wrapping off the paper. But, like, that's, okay, so put it to you this way, and I'm going to go to phone lines real quick. Put it this way. Those people who look at the 2016 race and they only look at the way the vote turned out for Hillary Clinton, her losing to Donald Trump, and blame the voters, those people are akin to or very reminiscent. An analogy for that would be a person who, I don't know, buys a pizza and then sits down at the table to eat and they go, oh, this pizza's not good. The pizza, they order pizza, the pizza gets there, they bite into the pizza. And they, oh, this pizza's horrible. And they blame, I don't know, they blame the person that gave them the pizza. They blame the wife or the husband who just put it on the plate. But they're not blaming the cook. They're not blaming the driver that delivered it. They're not blaming the store, the facility in which it was prepared. They're not blaming the cook, the person who actually cooked it, assembled the pizza. They're not blaming the people that, gave the ingredients. They're not blaming where the ingredients were sourced. All these things lead up to you biting into that damn pizza. Instead, you look over at your wife and you go, damn it, baby, why'd you give me this bad pizza? And she's like, what are you talking about? Get your own damn pizza. Go cook you one yourself, Hell is wrong with you? And don't raise your voice like that again. You son of... All right. So anyway, guys, the phone number is 319-527-6212. That's 319-527-6212. I'm going to put it up on the screen for people to call in. Yeah. And what we got to do is find it. Find the number, Tim Black. Here we go. Call in number, Tim Black. There we go. There goes the call-in number. 319-527-6212. Before we take phone calls, I just remind you, if you would like to promote your wares on this show, fine. Contact me at tim@timblacktv.com. We can work out an agreement where you will be able to advertise for your channel or your goods, especially if you're selling something. We can work something out. But of course, I got to be willing to put my name on it, so it's got to be, So we'll talk about it. tim@timblacktv.com. So those solicitations on the phone calls, please. Other than that, my only rule is no hate speech. You don't call up saying, oh, those whatever insert name of group. Don't do that. Oh, I can't stand this insert name group. Don't do that part. And as usual, this show is brought to you by my Patreon. Shout out to all my Patreons. All right? We are not funded by any political parties. We're not funded by any corporations or anything of that nature. Anything that you heard along those lines is total BS. This is user-funded, viewer-funded, truly viewer-funded, not like PBS, truly viewer-funded. Okay, content. So if you would like to become a member of the show, please go to Tim's Take Live, patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, product of TBTV in conjunction with justinformed.com. All right, guys, I'm going to take calls in the order in which they came. I will do my best to keep that list tight. And my first call is a 11111. All right, caller, you on air. What's your name and what's your comment?
Oh, shit.
Okay. How you doing? Hello? All right. All right, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment? Hey.
Just for heads up, I wanted to, express what's in my mind. Tim, can you hear me? Tim?
Yeah, we hear you, brother. Yeah.
Tim?
Yeah.
I think there's a bad connection call.
Oh, you can't hear me.
Oh. Hi, Tim Gannon from Brooklyn, New York. Sorry for an embarrassing moment, even though the connection was bad. So, how you doing, man?
We're good, brother. What's your comment?
Tim? Tim?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Timmy? Tim Black?
Oh, shit.
Tim?
Oh, man. I would really be pissed off if there's a phone connection problem. I just want to make sure there's no issue. Hello. We appear to be okay. I'm going to go to 843. I'm going to give 843 a try. 843, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment? Hello. Yeah, it sounds like my people on my phone line can't hear me. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like we're having a problem. Yeah, this happens from time to time, guys, for some reason. I don't really know what the reason is. Every time I put in a trouble ticket, they don't do anything, and then it's fixed. So there's something going on. Always something going on with this. All I'm going to do is I'm going to try to reboot, guys, because I'm assuming it's not 3 callers in a row don't have an issue. It'd be kind of strange if I had 3 callers all in a row who had an issue, so I don't think that's the case. I think we got a issue. So I'll just reboot. We'll just reboot. But you know what I have? You guys know what I have for situations like this? I have something that always works, at least most of the time it works. I got this thing called chat. Oh, yeah, I got chat. I got apps. I got YouTube people who are talking. I got Facebook people that are talking. So when situations like this come up, I don't even stress them no more. I just know that I could just go to my chat and I can see what other people are talking about in the chat. And maybe okay. Alrighty then. This is like YouTube chat. Right? Is that the YouTube chat? Alrighty then. That is so funny. It really is funny. Well, I guess people have to make their decisions about what they're going to do. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Stephanie Chateau. Oh, here we go. We're good now. Oh, yeah. I got chat. I got apps. Uli, Melissa, Marissa. The Machine, Karen. How you doing, Machine? Karen. And Stage Fright. Who got Stage Fright? Alex? My people on YouTube, what we got on YouTube? JM, watch Judge Tim Black for the first time today. I know who the next judge. Oh, man. That's hilarious. So you saw a Judge Tim Black show. Guys, I used to do more like comedic stuff. I would talk about something that happened, like a story, and then I would give like a people's ruling. And and I always like, man, I really need to go back and start doing that again because that was a ball, man. We had a great time. A great time doing that, guys. Those videos were very popular. I don't know if it would work now because things change, times change, but that's hilarious. Judge Tim Black, that used to be a very fun segments, man. Fun segments.
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service, press 3.
Let's try this again.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
All right, we're going to give it another try, guys. Let's do it. All right, 1111, you're live. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear
Hello?
me? Hey, can you hear me? Guess you can't.
Hello?
God, man. Just give me your comments, sir.
Hello?
Just give me your comments, sir.
Hi, my name is Brian. I run a YouTube channel, and I was just, what was I going to say? Okay, what was I going to say? How do you feel about the Milo Annapolis comment that he gave about the gunning down journalists?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, brother. I don't know why you can't hear me, but I hear you just fine. All right, brother. That's a good one. Thank you for that call, man. Thank you, brother.
All right.
I see you, man. I don't know why the callers can't hear me, but I hear them just fine. Did you guys hear that caller? Could you hear the caller, guys? Because I heard them just fine. I wonder why they can't hear me. The caller wants to know. He says, what did I think about the Milo Yiannopoulos comment? Right? So you heard him. All right, Alex. Thank you, Alex. Steve Wolfbrand. You know what, Steve, man, and Alex and Rose and Suzanne and Julie Love and J.M. McClinton and M. Oss, and they heard him. Hey, Sandra Lee. Hey, Kathy Lloyd. Look, check this out, guys. I made a tweet about the Milo Yiannopoulos comment, and I didn't dignify the comment that Milo made because it was horrific comment, right? Horrific, right? He made a comment, but he made it specifically. My understanding is that he made a comment. It was like I hope you get shot. I hope that someone starts shooting journalists or something to that extent, right? That's a horrible comment to make. I would never say that about anyone, right? I don't say that about anyone. You cannot go through. I got over 3,000 videos just on this YouTube channel, on my main YouTube channel. I have 4 other channels, right? You can't go to any of those videos and find me saying I would like to see people get shot. That's just not my style. It's not what I do. I don't think it's ethical. And mind you, I had this show when no one knew me. I had no reputation to keep, nothing. It's just not who I am. So that being said, Milo Yiannopoulos making that comment to some reporters, not even to the general public. How the hell is you expect that to influence a guy in Maryland? Milo, I don't think Milo live in California, right? They don't know each other. Now, unless you could prove to me that Milo spoke to the killer and said, hey, man, hey, you need to go shoot some journalists. Unless you could prove to me that that's what happened, then Milo Yiannopoulos does not deserve any of the blame for that. Now, you could call him a disgusting human being, which a lot of people do. You could call him an attention whore, which a lot of people do. But you can't call him responsible for this. And to do so, frankly, I'm pissed off that people are doing it because all it does is bring his name back up. All it does make people talk about the guy again. I mean, come on, man. I thought I was through with Milo. Hey, I thought I was through with Milo. I thought that was it. I ain't got to hear no more about Milo. We can move on. There's got to be a Billo. I thought I was through with Milo and Billo. And I thought somebody put a pillow over Milo and Billo. I thought that was over. I thought that was the end. But no. Hell no. We got to bring him back. And that's what you do when you invoke his name in the press like this. Milo hates the press, but he loves the press. I said he hates the press, but he loves the press because he gets to have his name back in circulation. And that's reality. So though I find his comments to be just plain stupid, but I don't think that you can, and I'm the last person to defend the guy, right? Because I didn't like his politics, I didn't like his games, his shenanigans, all the BS. Go up to the school and make college kids look stupid by, talking in circles about, and he's like, people talk about identity politics. What do you think Milo is? His whole thing was, I'm a gay Republican neo-Nazi or whatever, or something. I don't know. Like, his whole thing was identity politics. That's the reason why you know who he is. That's it. I mean, he got to the Bill Maher show. He got on MSNBC, CNN. I mean, come on, man. Just off that. So, yeah, I'm not, come on, But no, I don't think he's responsible for a lunatic, just a killer, man. He's not responsible for that. All right, so I'm going to go to the next call, but thank you for bringing that up, brother. I appreciate you, Brian, or Byron, I think it was. 575, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Tim?
Hey.
Hey, this is Janie calling from New Mexico.
Hey, how you do? Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. That's one of the reasons I called, to give that a try.
I don't know.
And I want to tell you I love you so much, and I was so happy when I got the notification about being one of your top fans. Woohoo!
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to have you.
You're welcome. And hey, I just have a quick comment about this Milo business and the fake outrage by the legacy media.
Mm-hmm.
So they will blame Milo for violence, but they will not even mention Maxine Waters and her comments about inciting violence. No, nobody talks about that. So they're quick to blame, but they won't give her any responsibility at all. And I was a Democrat most of my life, and I had to dim exit with the shenanigans of stealing the election last year.
I hear you.
So, yeah. So the selective and fake outrage of the mainstream media, I don't even watch real news anymore. You're one of my go-to guys for news because you tell the truth. So I just wanted to tell you I love you and I appreciate you.
Well, I love you back and I appreciate you, and I got to give you a clap for that. Thank you so much. Now, I will say this, okay? And you're a fan of the show, and I love you. You're a top fan of the show. I'll tell you this. They did talk about Maxine Waters, but they quickly got off it. I did cover it. But my thing was, and I disagree with harassing people in the street. I know that there are some people who feel like that will be effective. I don't think it will be effective. And I think what it does is it gives the people that you harass the veneer that they are victims. And that's the last thing you need. See, that just makes more people want to come out and vote. It just makes it, that's what it does. Or see, Trump is so smart. See, people call Trump a buffoon. That's what they used to say about him. He's a buffoon. He's not a buffoon. He's a smart man. in some ways. He's smart when it comes to marketing. Trump decided that he was going to go after the media and discredit them. He played the rigged thing to the T. Come on, he played the rigged thing. It's rigged. Oh, it's rigged. Whole thing's rigged. You know, perfectly played. When you go after Trump with no substance, it just helps him. He gets stronger. He gets stronger when you go after him with no substance. And if you go after cabinet members in the streets, dude, look, you see what we do when there's a videotape of, like the videotape of the white lady going after the 8-year-old, calling the cops about the bottled water. You see what we do, right? You see what they did about Barbecue Becky, right? You saw how viral that went? Yeah, okay? The right is going to go viral every time that somebody harasses a cabinet member, and that will not help. It won't help. Now, in my video that I did on Maxine Waters, it was an extensive video. I encourage you to watch my video on Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters has always been a firebrand. There are people saying things about Maxine that I don't appreciate, because I feel that Maxine Waters used to fight hard. In fact, Maxine Waters was calling out Obama. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Maxine Waters is one of the only Democrats calling out Obama while Obama was in, not like Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren called out Obama in 2016. Maxine Waters called out Obama in 2011 and 2012. That's in my video. I want people to see that. Now, I'm not saying it mitigates. I'm not saying it changes your opinion about her calling out these cabinet officials, but she called out the CIA in 2010. No, I'm sorry, 1998. I'm way ahead. I think it was 1998. She called out Obama in 10, 12, 11, whatever. That's what she does. She called out the Tea Party. So I encourage you to get a bigger view of her. You will probably still feel the way you feel. As did I. I still felt harassing people in the street out of desperation and frustration is not going to change it. I know it gives you something to do, but that will not change policy. What you need to do is shame people. And you don't shame people going, shame, shame. Shame is you feel shame. People yelling shame at you makes you want to punch them in the mouth. But you shame people by what? How do you shame someone? You show how they are wrong. You prove them wrong. And you embarrass them with the truth. You hold up pictures of those of the children who you say is trying to help and say, look what you're doing to these children. Shame is internal. If you are a group of people, a group of people going after one person, getting in their car, doing as Maxine Waters said, doing whatever they're doing, going to get their groceries, picking up their laundry, picking up their kids from soccer ball practice. Look, that is not going to shame anyone in anything. If anything, I believe this, and this is what I say, and I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to go to the next call, guys, but I got to say this. A man convinced against his will is of the what? Come on, guys. It's of what? It's of the same opinion still. You can't change somebody's mind. You can't change somebody's heart. You need to change the damn laws. And also, for the record, these laws, that Flores ruling, they wanted that fixed a year ago, and Congress couldn't get it done. If that ruling would have been in place, Trump would have never been able to follow this rule of law and separate those children. That never would have happened if Congress would have did their damn job. I know it's not popular to say that because people like to blame Trump for everything. He is partially to blame. This is a nuanced issue. Trump did not have to follow the letter of the law. He did not have to do that. That was a choice. He chose to do that. But Congress could have made it so that was not an issue. That part should have been done, okay? So, we don't need to shame people. We need to fix the damn laws. We need to make Congress do the damn job or get Congress out of Congress. Get Congress out of Congress and drain the damn swamp if that's what you need to do. But you don't need to make people be able to play victim. Oh, no. I'm being harassed. and then they go drink their cocktails and laugh because they just went up 3 points or 5 points or 10 points. You are not helping by doing this method. You're not helping. The videos go viral now. Maxine Waters, she's an older lady. She's an older lady. Love her, older lady. I love older ladies, but she need to realize people got smartphones. That shit will go viral every time, and it will be used as campaign ads to do what? To elect more people that you disagree with. That's what's going to happen. That's what will happen. I was against massive deportations of citizens who have been paying. We have people who have been here 30 years, who have raised families, who have paid taxes for 30 years, who have purchased goods, who are being kicked out this country. I don't think you think that's fair. I don't think you really think that's fair. I don't think you really think somebody who's built a life in this country for 30 years should wake up and live somewhere else, have to live somewhere that they don't even know. I don't think you believe that's fair. We got to come up with a way to make that situation better, right? That's what I believe. I believed it under Obama. I believe it under Trump. I'm not Johnny come lately. I'm not pile on T. I'm not pile on Paul. I'm, what I'm saying? I've been go back, look at the tape. I felt this way in 2015. I felt this way in 2016. I felt this way in 2017. I feel this way now. I don't feel this way now because it's Trump. You're looking at a black man who called out Obama. We exist. We exist. Tavis Smiley called out Obama. They shunned him. They tried to take his career. Cornel West called out Obama. They could not take his career because he's known internationally at a higher level, but he was ostracized. Maxine Waters was calling out Obama, not for immigration that I saw, but for him not putting policies together to help black people in inner cities. But she called him out on MSNBC. On MSNBC. And everybody only knows Maxine Waters for what? They know her for reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, which is great because I can't stand Steve Mnuchin. That man stole money from people. He stole people's homes. And Kamala Harris, spineless Kamala Harris, if she would have prosecuted Mnuchin as her office suggested, her office recommended that they prosecute Steve Mnuchin, Kamala Harris decided not to do it. That never should have been your Treasury Secretary. I applaud Maxine Waters for calling out Steve Mnuchin. He should not be Secretary of our Treasury. But they'll play that tape all day. Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. Great piece of tape. I'd run it too. But they didn't play the tape all the time on constant repeat. When she was calling out Obama for not doing for telling black people to shut up and stop complaining. Meanwhile, when the Latino brothers and sisters had issues, he listened. When the LGBT brought up issues, he listened. When AIPAC had issues, he listened. But when black people said, we got issues, he said, oh, come on, homie, just pull up your pants and come on, just pull your pants up. Come on. You guys complaining? Why don't you put on some soft shoes and go to work? You guys always asking me for stuff. Stop asking me for stuff. Put on some soft shoes. That's what you need to do. Put on the shoes. And Maxine Waters said on MSNBC, she looked right in that camera, she said, I don't know who Obama's talking to. He didn't talk that way to the LGBTQ. He didn't talk that way to Latinos. He didn't talk that way to my Jewish brothers and sisters. He should not talk that way to black people. But they didn't run that for you. And you don't know how dangerous that was to do. You don't know. So you think because they don't show you, you think, oh, she just go after Trump. Yeah, it's a little playing politics, yo. It's true. But what I'm saying was she put her neck on the line. One of the most dangerous things you could do in this country between the years of 2008 and 2016 is be black and call out Obama. All right? Dangerous thing to do if you want to work somewhere is to be black and call out Obama. I'm trying to tell you. And she did it. Now, you ain't got to like her. You may not have liked her before I started talking. You may still feel that way. You don't like it now that I'm done. But at least you know that. All right. Because you should know. It's facts. It's history. All right, it's history. We should know what we're dealing with. Marvin C. up in the house. Thank you, Marvin C. I appreciate you, man. And to Thad, Buck saying, be sure to tip your bartenders and waitresses. Tipping is not just a place in China. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat donations, my brothers. I appreciate y'all, man. I do. And sisters. Thad is a guy. Thank you, Thad. Thank you, Marvin, brother. 909. 909, you are live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black.
Hey.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, this is Left Coast. I've tried to call you like 2 weeks ago. I kept getting cut off. Sorry about that.
No problem, brother.
Just really appreciate the job you do giving us the full picture instead of just one-sided and trying to influence us. I really appreciate the facts. Let me make my own decision. We just don't get that anymore. So I just wanted to say thank you and appreciate the work.
Man, thank you, man, brother. I appreciate you for calling up and giving me some warm vibes, man, some good vibes on a Friday night, man. I appreciate it. I try to do my best to do it that way, brother. I'm going to tell you, the more you dig into it, see, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. And there's no just good guys and bad guys. It's saying, it's no good guys, bad guys. It's like both bad guys, and sometimes with traces of good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they're human beings, and there's the influence of money, and every issue has different elements to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've made a decision that I'm gonna do it this way. It's gonna mean it's gonna be harder. And it's going to mean, like Milo, I don't want to support Milo, man. He said some things I despise, man. He said some things that disgust the hell out of me. But I'm not going to let me liking you or not liking you change the facts or withhold facts. Right? Because you become what you hate. You become a part of the problem. So thank you, brother, for recognizing that I try my best. I'm not perfect, man. All right? I'm not perfect. Everybody knows I got left-leaning. I lean left on a lot of issues. But I've changed over time through education on certain things. And this has been a process. I'm not perfect, man, but I just believe in facts, and thank you so much, man. And I believe in you. I believe in my viewers, and I know we're going to do big things, and it ain't over. And thank you. All right? Give it up for that call. It ain't over, man. See, the rules are what we're doing now can't be done. People tell me this can't be done. They say you have to pick a side, and you have to stay in line on that side, or you will never be successful. That's the rule, okay? Well, what I'm trying to do is defy the rules, okay? I'm trying to defy them. And we're going to see what happens. 843. 843, you're live. I hope you can hear me now.
Tim?
Hey.
Yo, this is Will Sis Autumn.
Hey, Autumn, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Wait a minute. You said you weren't perfect. That's it. I'm like done with Tim Black.
Right.
Oh, my God. Don't show me your clay feet, man. But anyway, seriously, because you told me that you were going to do something on Maxine. And, Tim, I have to tell you, you did such an amazing job. You introduced me to a whole different side of, quote, Mad Max that I never knew existed. I never knew how hard she fought. So, yeah, she's, like, totally wrong to, in my opinion, to call out people. But, man, she, like you showed us, that woman fought Mnuchin. Amazing. And if you hadn't, like, put that in there, I would never have known about that.
Yes, sister. Thank you so much.
I was like, oh, my God, this is, like, so wonderful, so nuanced, both sides, and then, I think, back that woman, Velma, that challenged Obama back at that town hall.
Mm-hmm.
who lost her job, remember?
Yes.
And she's like, I'm tired of defending you. And he literally laughed in her face. And she lost her job. So, yeah. But anyway, the other thing I want to address is, as you put it, the half endorsement by Rokana for Ocasio. And I'm so celebrating her victory. But a friend of mine that I talked to, he's like an older gentleman, former Navy attorney, ran for office himself, and so he sees stuff through a whole different lens that I don't pick up on. He was completely for Bernie, but he said, did Bernie endorse her formally? And I was like, what? What do you mean? And I went back and I did research, and I was actually going to email you, but I'm putting this out there for the Wolfpack because I am very concerned about Bernie. Yeah, he endorsed Vangelis, which is awesome, but where was he with Ocasio? And I guess I just want to throw this out there because I've been thinking about it. I can't forget what he did to Nina during the convention. I can't forget that he's not, endorsing a lot of progressives. He never addressed the rigging, the Russia. Nick Brana tried so hard. He was brushed off. He wouldn't go on Jimmy Dore's show. I don't know if you've asked him to go on your show, but for what I've heard, he's not going on any shows. And according to that lady Lauren Steiner, he actually blamed Gore's loss on Ralph Nader. And I mean, a lot of us right now are like in this area where we were all brought or woken up by Bernie, but we're not going to be led to the slaughter again where we're like sitting there with nothing in hand, right? And, most of us went with, or a lot of us anyway, went with Jill Stein, and she didn't even get 5%. But I don't know. I just have a lot of questions, and I guess I just want to throw it out there to you and the viewers. Is there like any way that we can like draft somebody like Tulsi Gabbard? Can we like try that to get her to throw her hat in the arena? I don't know. But anyway, I just want to say, love your work, and I'm back into politics, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, Autumn.
Lots
I appreciate
of
it.
love from South Carolina.
You got it, Autumn. Thank you so much for all you do. I appreciate you so much. You know that, sis. Autumn, my little sis, she been calling in for many years, 3 years now. I don't know. It's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. And she sends me great ideas, great story ideas, great news. She kind of keeps her finger on the pulse, helps me out tremendously. So one more time for Autumn. Right? We do what we can. And the reason why she says she's back into politics, because she had to take a little breather for a few days. This stuff gets to you after a while. I want to thank you so much. I want to encourage everybody in the Wolfpack to go watch the Maxine Waters video. And I'm going to tell you something. I took extra days to do that video. You're going to see less videos from me because I'm changing up what I do and how I do it. It's time to up the game, frankly. It's time to up the game on content. It's time to up the game on differentiating myself from others. It's time to up the game on context to what we cover and do our best to put out the best quality content. It's not just about throwing out stuff, right? So that's what I'm focusing on doing. I took a couple of days to put together that Maxine Waters video because I wanted that video to be the premier piece of research, but also entertaining, and I think it's entertainingly done, about Maxine Waters and about this whole issue. And that I wanted to be something that wasn't just going to be a blip on the radar, that 2 years from now, you could go back to that video and say, oh, this is a comprehensive look at Maxine Waters and her style and what she did, and like you can go back to it. And I want that to be for the record. Okay, so I want to be able to do more work like that. More work that stands the test of time that I can hang my hat on. So I encourage you once again, guys, to go to my YouTube channel, Just look up Tim Black on YouTube. Find the video. Share it with a friend. You will not be disappointed. All right. 343, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim Black. I just want to extend my humble thanks to you for doing a great job this week in your videos, and also too, I want to say happy 4th of July next week to our first of July Canada Day celebrations. But as they say, to hell with civility. Apparently, and my name is Patrick Say from Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Apparently, the mayor of Ottawa was on CTV this week, which is our Canadian television news anchor show, whatever. And it says Jim Watson urges boycott of United States Ambassador Kelly Knight Kraft's July 4th party. And I watched the interview on CTV. He felt that he shouldn't be hobnobbing with the Americans who are taking shots at us all the time. So essentially, we have a little bit of a situation going on with civility with today, especially with the Canadians, with the retaliatory tariffs of 10% on American goods. So essentially, goods that are coming from the United States to Canada are going to be priced 10% more. So that's where the Maxine Waters thing, where I agree with you, to hell with civility, because we, as Canadians, we love our American counterparts, but not essentially the Donald Trump era. So essentially, there's like a tit for tat situation going on. So essentially, the mayor from Ottawa has suggested to us Canadians to boycott the U.S. ambassador's 4th of July party. So with this there was a retaliatory tariff. You know, that's how it's going to play, because with the milk industry, as I said, and I've heard from your friends like AJ Goodman about the milk industry and stuff like that, and about the controlled market that Canadians have with the milk and overproduction and stuff like that. I can hear from his side, I understand from his perspective, but for our perspective too, with the milk market, if other countries overproduce, then it hurts our farmers especially more, because without the steroids or the antibiotics that you guys have put in your milk, that it has more chemicals inside of yours, which our milk is much more expensive than yours when it comes to pricing. So we can control the market, especially when it comes to those milk tariffs. But I can understand where he's coming from, and I can understand where our farmers come from. So essentially with the Ottawa farmers, Jim Watson said to boycott the 4th of July party for the U.S. ambassador. So, as I said, also too, I want you to, how do you survive a fake populism type of presidency that you have with the United States? Because we have here in Ontario, we just elected a fake populist premier in the name of Doug Ford. So he was put into office there on June 7th of this year, when we had our elections. And today he has been ordained as the 26th Premier of Ontario, which means we're under conservative powers. We haven't been in conservative power since 2003. So how do you handle a fake populism section? Also, too, there was another video done today by Tim Pool, who gave a rundown about Cortez's policies, and essentially saying that social... Can you hear me? You put me on mute and you're muted, okay. But I was just saying, what do you think about Tim Pool's...
Hey, okay. My brother. Please stop shouting out people on my channel, man. Thank you, brother, for the comment. I appreciate you, now. I appreciate it. Please stop doing that. You did that last week, too. Okay. All right. Gracious. Yeah, come on, man. Yeah, if you want to promote other channels on my channel, I don't think that's really cool, but you're going to ask me before you do it. All right. I don't even know what you're asking me. You're asking me how do we survive? Dude, we don't have no choice but to survive. That kind of question is that. What are we going to do, die because we got Trump? What are we going to do, stop living? What are we going to do? What do we do? What did I do under Obama? You know, black teenagers unemployment rate was near 50% under Obama for black teenagers in some cities. What did we do? Suffer. Keep going anyway. Keep getting up anyway. Do the best with what you have anyway. Fight back any way you can. Survive. Live. Don't die, multiply. All those sayings, all those things are cool. All right? I don't even know a better way to put that. You know, people talk about resist. Resist. You know, I don't even know what that really means. I'm resisting. You know, if it means we're no longer, see, my thing is wake up to the injustice that you live under and then mobilize and strategize. Mobilize is not just go out and march. It's not just tweet. It's vote. It's get active politically. Because that's how things are done in this country. Like, if there was another way, believe me, I wouldn't even be talking about politics. Like, if there was another way to stop police shootings, if there was another way to stop homelessness, poverty, these things that are like truly the reasons why I started, you know, getting serious on YouTube, then I wouldn't even consider politics if there's another way. But politics is the avenue for which our legislation, which is our laws, are created. So I really don't have a choice, bro. I do not have a choice to say screw it, you know, because I recognize, and once you, as you are and many others who pay attention to what's going on, you realize that, you know, just because you stop paying attention doesn't change that it's happening. So you can close your eyes at the scary parts of the movie, but guess what? They're still playing. Just because you're not looking doesn't mean it's not happening. And if somebody's coming after you and they're about to punch you, if you close your eyes, you still get hit. You're still going to get hit. So my thing is at least open your eyes so you can see who punched you, and then think of a way to block yourself, protect yourself, and then maybe also fight for yourself. So that's the way I look at it. I'm not saying that's going to solve all our problems. I'm not saying that's actually, you know, going to stop what's happening, but putting our heads in the ground, in the dirt, ignoring it, with feeding it, trying to self-medicate with drugs, alcohol, not so clean men or not so clean women or whatever you do, like whatever you do, like, you know, different partners and drugs and doing that. I'm just gonna be, you know, but you only live once, YOLO. You only live once. Okay, fine. But then you wake up and you are a parent, and then you wake up and you are a grandparent. I know, because that happened to me. You wake up one day and you are a parent. Then you wake up one day and you go, oh shit, my kids gotta live here. Uh-oh. Then you wake up and one of your kids has a child. Now you are a grandparent. You're like, uh-oh. So ignoring it is not the solution. And we all do the best we can, and all of us at different stages of learning. So hopefully we don't look down our nose at other people as we learn this stuff. At one time, you didn't know anything, I didn't know anything. We all learn, and we shouldn't look down on one another as we learn and we grow. So give it up for that. All right. Yo. 503, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Brother Tim, it's Tony, man. How are you?
Hey, man, what's going on?
How are you, dude? It's your videographer. How's it going?
Man, I'm excellent, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Hey, YOLO my ass, man. I think we live again and again. I don't believe that, YOLO. Not at all.
I feel you.
That's just my personal feeling, but yeah. And I'd rather, you know, I've been a live and let live guy, you know me, man. But I think it's time that we don't get punched anymore, that we figure out how we can get in the first punch. I thought we were there with Bernie. We were close, and maybe in a strange, perverse way, we had to to get punched that first time, but now it's time we got back up on our feet and we got around two, and we're all advocating for Bernie in various ways, or at least a lot of us, progressives anyway. And I don't think we should lay down. I think we just need to continue to be vocal to make sure that he hears us and knows that there are a lot of people that are way past the party, you know, the blue and the red and the green and the whatever. It's just, there's a time to stand united, and I think we're past that point in time. So maybe though we got a second chance, a second time to go ahead and grab at that ring. I don't know. What do you think?
That's why we do it, brother. That's why I do it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah,
I mean, you do it when we're freaking kind of licking our wounds, man, as you know, people in audience and looking for that inspiration. But you get up and do it every day, you know.
That's right.
And
man.
So it's really cool to have a voice out there that echoes a lot of the same feelings that we have. And because of those highs and lows, it's you know, it's just trying to find that sweet spot, and I think that's kind of where you're at right now in your style, and in I love some of the new content and some of just the way you've delivered it. And you know, Tim, we've been following you for a long time, and you got a lot of loyal viewers, and what YouTube did was just it was beyond the pale, you know. And it's not just vindictive, it's not just something childish, it's diabolical, it's criminal. It's not something that should have happened, but it did. Maybe in a strange way that's making you stronger too, and that's just kind of helping propel us all towards frickin' 2020. And with wins from Ocasio, those little wins and stuff like that, you know, I'll take them. I love them, but we got to get some hitting out of the park, and I know we got some awesome people that we could consider for that 2020 lineup. You know, whether it's you know, Bernie Nina, Bernie Ocasio, Bernie Gabby, or Gabby whatever. I mean, there are a lot of just so many obvious choices. It's like kid in a candy store.
Yeah, man. Well, look, Tony, man, I appreciate you calling up, man. Thank you for the voter support and the kind words, man. You know we're going to keep fighting, brother. Like what else can we do? We're going to keep going. And, you know, I'm right there with you, man. Thank you for your support, brother.
You got it. See you, Tim.
You got it, man. Yeah, man. Like I'm keenly aware, man, that we need some big wins, right? Like, I feel that. You know what I'm saying? I believe they're going to come. I believe that we are making headway in the right direction. Someone just sent me a video where they're slamming. It says, breaking. New RNC ad slams Democrats for unleashing pattern of violence across the United States. So someone said, Tim, now that's the name of the video, but for some reason, they said this is a serious problem and no one's paying attention to it. I'm trying to get the word out and I've heard nothing back. This is a video produced by the RNC against progressives. But the title says Democrats. I don't see those two being the same thing. I don't think that's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, those are two separate. It's a lot of space between Democrats and progressives. Democrats are fine, like, well, we do Obamacare. Progressives are like, we need single payer and we need it yesterday, mofo. Democrats are like, well, maybe we could go to, $11. Progressives are like, $15 an hour. We want $15 an hour. They're like, Democrats are like, maybe we could do 12, and maybe we could do 12 and we get lucky and 12. 12 might work. And progressives low, 15. And really, to keep up with inflation, let's go ahead and make it 19. You know, Democrats are like, we can bomb more countries that just need to bomb, and we're gonna bring them the democracy by bombing them. We have to bomb them, and our president knows what's right. And progressives are like, nah, let's stop the wars altogether and get our asses home, bring home our veterans, and let's take care of them. They got PTSD, and they're losing their homes while they're away. We need to take care of them and their families. This is ridiculous bullshit. Let's cut it. Even though some Democrats are going, yeah, we need to go ahead and legalize cannabis so that the legalizing, we can use the money. And progressives like, yeah, go ahead and legalize that shit, but also go ahead and wipe out all the non-violent drug offenders who are in jail. Let's wipe out their records, give them back their voting rights, and let them be able to open up cannabis businesses so they can take advantage of this new industry. That's what progressives are on. See, so there's a difference. There's a difference. Democrats are like, just everybody just shut up and vote blue, anywho, vote blue, anywho. And progressives are like, fuck you. All right, guys. Hey, I had to spend my wine. I got any change to put in the curse jar, man? It's just... I still got a Bernie Sanders button on my desk. This the same thing we do every night. Try and save the world. It's crazy. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's so far away. I moved my camera back a little bit and try to get a little bit more space up here. But frankly, okay. Wow, man. Yeah. Well, let me do some. I got another caller in the queue. Caller, I'm gonna get to you in a minute. Let me go through my Facebook real quick and say hello to Jennifer Vickers and Ginger Liberty and Roseanne Mortarana and Steve Wolfenbrandt and Alex and Margarita Silverpotts and John Arthur Lawrence. Alex, once again, I see a lot of conversations. Bree Hood in the house. Evan Miller. There you go. Give it up to him. Give it up for him. That's right. What about YouTube, man? What about YouTube people? Got to show the love to my YouTube people. Oh, man, give it up for, we got some super chat going on here. We got James Mandalore. Thank you, James Mandalore, for the love. I appreciate you. Also, A. Mayers. I'm worried about Kenneth Mejia, a straight party voters in California. Will you please give him on before 11/6 needs nationwide phone bankers much? Before 11/6? Oh, hell yeah. Come on, yeah. Hey, A. Mars. That's it? A. Mayers? Maybe it's Mayers. Thank you for the super chat. And hell yeah. Kenneth Mejia was just on the show, but you look, Kenneth is he's got so much energy. He's full of so much passion, right? I brought Kenneth on. So he had been on before, okay? I brought him on last election cycle, right? So I was very happy to bring him on again, right? But I had so many candidates. This year I had so many candidates, and since I had him on before, and then I saw he went on TYT, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get him after he wins. So he came on right after, but he came on right after going to a rally. He rushed home to do the show. He was tired. I could tell. I only kept him for like a half an hour. So to make up for it, you best believe I'll be bringing Kenneth Mejia back on the show. That's the least I could do. Huh? That's the least I could do. That's my friend. That's my friend Kenneth. I love Kenneth, and yes, I'll be glad to bring him on. Kathy Lloyd, thank you, Kathy. Big time, Kathy. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Kathy. I do. All right, 856. Thank you for holding on. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim.
Hey.
It's Alan Cannon.
Alan Cannon. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, Alan? Give it up for Alan, y'all.
Hey, man.
Yo, talk to me, Al, man. What's up, man? Give me some updates. Hey, man, give me updates, brother.
Hey, we're waiting for our case to be heard by the Supreme Court.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Talk to me, man.
Because when they put in the motion for the case to try to remove one of the plaintiffs in New Jersey, then the judge illegally dismissed the case in New Jersey. And the federal case we have in D.C., the judge tried to do the same thing, which gave us the grounds to go straight to the Supreme Court.
So this is a good thing.
We're about to really get down to business.
Wow, brother.
If you take our case and you couple our case with the DNC fraud case, which is going to oral argument September the 11th, then we can actually get some things done that's going to change this country. Because once the representation is limited to 50,000 people, that means all urban areas get their own representation, and the power of nomination shifts to urban centers instead of being at the county level where it is now.
That would be so amazing, brother. So amazing.
Hey, it's real, and we just, try not to just, dance a jig and do all that other stuff prematurely. But people need to understand that we're fighting for a law that already exists. We're not trying to change the law. And that's the takeaway. Comment?
Well, hey, man, like, I support it already. So, yeah, let's, we got time between now and September, man, but definitely, man, let's talk about it again, as we get closer. That's it. What the hell?
The Ocasio win shows what you can do when you limit representation to 50,000 people, because that eliminates money from outside your district. That's going to make sure that the districts are well represented. And that's what the people need. That's what they deserve. And actually, that's what's legally bound by the House of Representatives to do. So,
brother.
There you have it.
Yeah, Alan. Well, look, Alan, man, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Get up for Alan Cannon. They've been on here before. Did they try to limit the brother that came on with you on the show, man? Is that because I know he's out of Jersey, right?
Yeah, all five of us are out of Jersey. If you want to look up the case, just look up 5 guys from Jersey taking on Congress.
I always love that name, man. I always love that name. That's what's up. You give me a Tony Soprano feel, but yeah, I love it, man.
Yeah. Hey, but we fighting the mob. We're not the mob.
Right. This is a big difference, right? All right, Alan. Thank you so much, man. Peace, brother.
All right, man. Just
Oop, my bad.
Tell me I say hello.
Oh, no doubt, man. You got it now. Yeah, man. Alan Cannon. Give it up for those guys. Five brothers taking on Congress, man. Five guys taking on Congress. It's a very fascinating case. In fact, the idea, it seems so complex and crazy, and like you climbing this huge hill. But once they articulated to me that, okay, so the basic, I'm gonna put this in a nutshell. Don't blame. Look, this is how I understand it, right? From my conversation, I had him on the show. We talked about it. I had Alan and I had his brother, a very good man out of Jersey with him, one of the plaintiffs in the lawsuit. The idea is this, very simple. We're underrepresented in Congress. We're underrepresented. It's supposed to go by population. We're underrepresented. There should be more representatives in more districts, meaning more representation for the citizens. That's the basic concept. This is not new. This is how it's written in the Constitution. So when they brought this story to me like maybe a year and a half ago, what they were doing, this lawsuit that they were launching, It's just like, how can this ever? But as you listen to what they lay out and what's in the lawsuit, what the grounds are, you will see that they are not grasping at straws. This is not pie in the sky. This is just, as Alan just explained, this is just saying we need to follow our own damn laws. How about we follow our laws? And if we follow our laws as it's written, there would be more representation. And I think more representation is obviously better than less representation. And I definitely support it. And they fighting a good fight. Right? Shout out to Patrick from A True Canadian. I apologize for the name drop. Man, Patrick, man, you are... Hold up, Pat. Patrick, you are a friend of the show. You are a friend on Twitter. Real Tim Black on Twitter, y'all. You a friend on Twitter. Brother, I'm not upset with you at all, brother. I just, I just gotta, gotta have a little rules. That's some, And maybe it's because I saw something Tim did recently that I don't usually watch his stuff, but you've been telling me about him. So I saw some of the stuff he was talking about. I'm like, okay. But anyway, that's another point. Man. I got a 11111 number in the queue. Hey, you're live on Freedom Friday. Who's this?
Curtis.
Curtis?
Don't disrespect me now, Tim. Don't disrespect me. I won't disrespect you. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's fair.
Why you dislike me? Because I didn't like Goodman? Because I knew what Goodman was about before he even hooked up with you? I didn't like Goodman because I knew he worked for all them. That was the only reason why I didn't like Goodman. But that's not what I called today. I called basically by how people think it's the left, it's the right. It's always
Okay. All right, Curtis. Oh, he's gone. That's Alan. My bad. Well, Curtis, what happened to Curtis? That was going to be fun, Curtis. Hey, I didn't. Hey, his dropped. Caller 111 has dropped. He did that. He got excited. He hung himself up. Give it up for hanging up yourself. Give it up for hanging up yourself. All right, Curtis, I'm going to bring you on. Again, brother, no hard feelings. All right, Curtis.
Let me speak. All right. You know how Trump is supposed to be this big Republican, right? The right-wing conservative party, right? And then if you go look at all the people that are in his cabinet, they're all Democrats. The Kushners, Wilbur Ross that worked for the Rothschilds for 25 years, even Steve Mnuchin, which is related to the guy that owns Sears and Kmart, the CEO that owns that. They're all Democrats. So the people got the idea there's a Democrat and a Republican, a conservative, a libertarian, a progressive, but they're all run by the same thing. If you look at the news that's on the alternative news, it comes from mainstream. So the Associated Press, and Reuters and some of the other bigger ones, they still set the script. And everybody spins the alternative news. Now, everybody may have a different point of view of it, which they do, from the Young Turk to Alex Jones, et cetera, et cetera. But the system is still being controlled by the same people. The Rothschilds are still in charge of this system. It's a super rich trickles down, and no one opposes them. And then if you go look at Congress, 40-some% of them have dual citizenships with Israel. Cynthia McKinney, the Congress rep out of Georgia, wouldn't support the pledge to Israel. She was booted out. They stopped her from getting Indy funding. AIPAC is still controlling the system. And then if you know that we're dropping 122 some bombs a day? Every few minutes we're dropping bombs. The same policies are continued. The same CIA, the same FBI, the same NSA, the same people that have control of them apparatus are still running the same policies that Obama was running. The wars have not stopped. All Trump does is basically try to figure a way to divert and confuse people that he's a freedom fighter for the system. He works for them directly. His con is to make you think otherwise. Obama kind of did the same thing. He was a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more brilliant, and a little bit more careful about how he used his words and how he crafted himself. Well, Trump is just this brash American superior. America first. Remember he got all the people from Harley Davidson, bikers for Trump. He rallied them all up. He used that bike company because he knew a lot of ignorant people that ride bikes, plus rich, wealthy people that own bikes. And they are all this kind of this trendy tribal club of having a motorcycle, which is, I guess, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a hobby. And he had them all in the bandwagon. Then as soon as they didn't do what he wants, he threw them down. But who do you think is running this trade war? That's Wilbur Ross and Steve Mnuchin. Trump just goes out there and sells a bag of garbage. That's all Trump does. And then it's Maxine Waters now. And then it's like a tribal war between one group to another group to keep us from reality. You know how many people we're killing in Yemen right now? Over 300,000 children are being starved to death. We're genociding them. It's never mentioned at all. Do you know the Pope was arrested in Switzerland about 4 days ago by a group of sheriffs, and then they were assaulted by the Pope's guard, and then the police arrested them. And then the Pope had to return back to the Pope-mobile and go back. He was supposed to be addressing a league of council of churches worldwide. It was in Switzerland. He was actually arrested. They drafted a warrant for him for murder and rape. Okay? And then you can't go to the Vatican because it's off limits. I mean, we still have the Illuminati still controlling the same system. Here's the thing. When you guys talk about the progressives, some of the bright people that got in, there's a couple of them that got in recently. I'm for them, but they're never going to get the microphone. Who owns the mic? They decide the script. If you go to every Democratic Party, every Republican Party, it's the same script. Pro-life, pro-this, pro-choice. It's the same script. Why don't we talk about the water, the air, the vaccines, the poisoned food, the things that affect us on a day that we're not allowed to, because anything that bucks the corporations is off the table. It's anything that bucks it. And let me tell you, when we can start closing Chase Bank down and Bank America, I'll listen to anything that anybody has to say. I'm on your team. When you can boycott these bankers and put them out of business, then I'll listen to you. But see, as long as they know you're still going to a bank, your finances are still being controlled by them, you're still going to Walmart, you're still going to a Verizon phone, you're still using State Farm as your insurance company, they still have control of us. We are totally divided, and just like the chant, if you're not united, there's no way you have any strength in numbers. And that's what they've done. But the Rothschilds are still running, and all the patents go through the Commerce Department. So if you patent an idea, whether it's a technological wonder, you know who gets it first? The Rothschilds do. Because Wilbur Ross worked for him for 25 years. Now, all them guys are Democrats. The Kushner was a Democrat. And then Trump tells you he's a Republican conservative and all this BS. Come on. Trump is just a puppet like the ones before. The policies haven't changed. You see the war stopped? The wars are still going. Actually, he's actually dumping more bombs and missiles now than Obama has. His droid attacks. He's actually killing and pillaging more. He's squandering more money, giveaways for the super rich. They told us that the bailout, the tax big refund thing was going to save America. What did they do with it? They bought back their stocks and hid the money offshore. Now they're telling you General Motors can't sell cars anymore. Of course, I went car dealers attack. I have the worst video on the internet involving a civil rights attack involving children over the recalls. I'm still fighting the big gangsters down in Florida for 6 years. The largest car guy in the auto industry, Mike Jackson of Auto Nation. I'm still fighting him in court. 6 years later, he hasn't even been able to tap me out. He was selling cars to Epstein down there. He was tied to Debbie and Debbie's husband, a lot of them people in Florida. He's a Florida gangster. Now they're going to induct this guy into the Automobile Hall of Fame that Ralph Nader, some really fine people have, because he's an Illuminati gangster. He's on the Federal Reserve Board in Atlanta, Georgia, and Florida. Come on. The same people are running the same system. I don't see anybody taking down a bank or GM. I just don't see it. Until you can shut these bankers down, nothing's going to change. I just don't see it. And I know everybody has good intentions. Yourself, there's brilliant people that come on your show. And a lot of the things that you've done in the past, warranty you, but there isn't going to be enough of them. And when that microphone comes out, it's just like, you know who's going to get in? Romney's going to get in right now. When Romney gets in, where do you think the microphone's going to go to the Republican Party? The media that controls the same system that controls us is going to hand that phone to Mitt Romney if he becomes a senator. I guarantee it. That's the reason why Romney's in there. He's going to sell the script. And once Pelosi, the ones at the top, McConnell sell the script, everybody falls in line to the script. And if you go outside the script, the next election comes around, you get booted out. I just don't see it. When we could take down Chase Bank When you get a boycott where people pull their money out of Chase Bank, I'll start listening. But as long as they have control of the financial systems, the drugs, come on, we can't talk about the food. The drinking fountains are full of chloride. Our children are hitting that fluorine and chlorine. The food is poison. The cancer has tripled. Diabetes has tripled. The
60 seconds.
The chemtrailing, the vaccines now they're pushing on you. We can't even protect our own children and our own health. That means we're way far gone, Tim. We're way far gone. I'm afraid for this country. And as far as this foreign entanglements, like I said, we're giving, what was it? What did they figure? It's $30,000 a day for every person that lives in America to give money to Israel. Now, I know we have to give money to different countries throughout the world. It's part of the bribery system that we have. But why? But we give what, $3 billion a year? $3 billion a year plus all the other compacts. And Israel's taking all the technologies now. They're taking all the technologies. They don't have anything. Have you ever been to Israel? They don't grow nothing. They don't have any resources. They've taken the technologies. They're taking some of the biggest technologies, and they're selling some of that technologies to weapons wars. So now we hate the Russians.
10
we hate
seconds.
the Russians? Because you can sell weapons with NATO. So now NATO's already up. Buy the S-400. I would have bought the S-400. The Turks are fools not to buy it. It's an unbelievable weapon. It'll knock down anything out of the sky, the S-400. The S-200 isn't as good, but the S-400 is even better. But the point is, so Trump is just selling weapons. He sells weapons for the New World Order. And Congress is right behind it because no one's going to buck a lobbying that's allowed to extort $750 billion, 2/3 of our deficit. One lobbyist, one group of industrials, which is the warlords, or you want to call them the military industrial, are allowed to extort that kind of money. No one's going to buck that. Let's take down a bank. Let's close Chase or Bank America down. It ain't going to happen. It just ain't going to happen. They have total control. And now all our emails, all our phone calls are all being kept. So now if someone that's got a beef with you, Tim, and you're bucking them or you're costing them money or you seem to be a threat, all they have to do is call another corporation up to get every bit of information on you they want. And how are you going to prove who gave what and when? You never can. Then they'll say you got hacked. Now the excuse is, my emails have been hacked. I know all kinds of people. Go right in, just completely eliminate, write half the stuff out, the caption. It won't even come up. Even when I transfer it from one device to the next, the email still won't come up. So now they just say you got hacked. There was a breach. So now they have an excuse for doing anything to anybody. We're in serious trouble as a country. The 2018 elections is not going to produce much. If the House and Democrats take the House and the Senate back, which is unlikely, but let's say they took the House back. They can't impeach Trump because you got to have the Senate and you got to have a majority in the Senate. You're never going to get a majority in the Senate to impeach Trump. So it's never going to happen. Trump is unimpeachable. I don't care what the rest of the Republicans think. He's unimpeachable because they found a way to escape the law. There is no law now. It's right in your face. We're at the looks like Hillary Clinton. Remember, he said he was going to have her locked up, go after Podesta, the pedophile, Pizzagate, all that stuff. What? Wiener? All got covered up because the deep state is still there. The FBI, the CIA, the NSA, these are career people. They're still there in them institutions. They don't leave for presidents. And who controls them? The same people that control the White House. But Trump is nothing but a tweet puppet. And people are buying it, Tim. But yeah, I'll let you go. I appreciate it. I'm glad to see the show is back up. It always was a good show. Freedom Friday is always what made you. It was always the voice of the public. And you, Tim, and that's what made it fascinating. I'm glad you took the time to listen to me, but I don't see anything changing that much. And I know there'll be some good people that might get into office, whether you call him Bernie Bro. I think Bernie Sanders was better of the lot. I would agree, but he sold out because if he didn't sell out, he would have showed up at that convention and he would have threw the Clintons down in front of the whole world. He was afraid to because he would have been fearing for his life. They fear for you. And then they tell you it's George Soros. You go over there, the Young Turk, not the Young Turk, but Jones particularly. Oh, it's Soros. Now, don't you think Soros works for Rothschild and knows all them people? If they want to stop Soros, they could stop Soros anytime they wanted to. And then they try to tell you, oh, it's George Soros, Podesta, and Obama. They're the ones the reason they're behind the deep state. No, yeah, they're part of the deep state. No one's taking them down. It's never going to happen. And then you see constant bloggers and all these channels. Oh, yeah, Obama's in hiding. He's at the airport. He's not in hiding. They got used to it. Obama's still a young, healthy person. They can use him to control the Afro-Americans in this country to a certain degree. To a certain degree. They're not going to they're not throwing Obama down. None of the people are going to jail. I don't care what they did. The child molesters, none of them are going down. because the same system's in control, Tim. And the Rothschilds are at the top of that. Don't tell me they're not. And they come on. Your country is run by the Rothschild bank dynasty, and it's micromanaged by the Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is the one that micromanages governments all over the world. You know how they do it? They do trade deals with multinational corporations between countries abroad and America. And in them trade deals, certain countries buy our treasury bonds, like Japan. So they'll do a big trade deal, $40, $50 million. Trump just bragged about Japan was investing some money in some corporations in here. But that's under the conditions that they stay enslaved, the slave debt system, and they buy our treasury bonds. The minute you aren't in the slave debt system under the bankers, they cave you in. Just like Gaddafi, just like Assad, just like all of them. If you don't take money from us and we can't control your economy, which once we control your economy, we're going to control your government, you're done. And you got a natural resource, we're coming for it. Just like Assad, he's got oil. And the Russians wanted to bring that pipeline into Europe, and they don't want that either. I just don't see where it's changing. I mean, I prayed for it the same as you. I listen to people all over the internet. Now, I may be the guy who has a beef with a car dealership in Florida over a civil rights attack. When car dealers attack. You could say it's adolescent, the view counts are shut off on it, but I litigated, and I'm fighting the largest car gangster in this country, and I got him on the ropes because I just want to know when we were being assaulted in that video, we still saw in cars Jeffrey Epstein. And Debbie Schultz knows who he is. She did a town hall meeting with her in 212. His name is Mike Jackson. And now they're going to induct him into the Automobile Hall of Fame. I called Ralph Nader up and some of the really good people that were in there for safety and different types of things that they had to contribute to the car industry. And now he's going to show up the 19th at the MGM in Detroit. And I'm spooking everybody on the site. And there's all corporate CEOs. But I just don't get it. When you need to stop the bankers, it's time to shut down Chase Bank. Go Chase Bank from one bank to the bank. Run from one bank to another. But people won't do it because the convenience of banking is important because it's your lifeline. It's your money. It's how you pay every bill that you to substantiate your life. The bank has control of that. And we can't shut them down. And they know it. You know, Goldman Sachs doesn't. Goldman Sachs could have had commercial banks on the street. They don't. Goldman Sachs buys governments and countries all over the world with the CIA and different intelligence agencies. That's what they're good at. And if it's a country that's in the debt system, that's controlled by the IMF and the central bankers, they do trade compacts with corporations. And Trump is a salesman. All Trump is a salesman for Wall Street. That's basically what Trump is. I can't think of it. What has he really done? Well, you see him, he do these crazy-ass photo-op. His wife went down. Here, I want to tell you one thing before I leave. Remember when his wife went to Mexico at the first visit and they went to the first school? You see the pictures of all the artwork. You don't see the children's names on them. Well, look, if the children were in the school, and this was all rigged for her to go, this is when she wore the stupid jacket, okay? She's coming down the hallway. They turn at the artwork, but the camera won't focus in on the artwork because then you'd see a kid's name. Now, that school that she went to in that photo op was between 12 and 16-year-olds, which means all the artwork would have been people that could at least spell their names. Then if you go look at the tree, it was called the forgiveness tree. You know how they do a tree thing and everybody puts the name of their family on the tree, their dog, their aunt, their cousin, whatever, the family tree? Well, there was no names on anybody's leaves on there. And then if you look around, if you pan around in that set that they set up, which is a PSYOP, you won't see one kid's name on anything. Why? You're trying to tell me the Mexicans are too stupid to spell their name? Even a 6, 7-year-old knows how to do that. When they do artwork, how would you know whose artwork was it? Oh, kids, I want you guys to do the artwork, but don't put your name on it because we don't want people to know who you are. So that you could tell that was a total psyop. But go through it again. Just look at all the artwork that you see and see if you can see one name on any of them. You won't see none. There was a setup, and then he had to bring her back. She made a fool of him. Now she's back down in Arizona yesterday for a rematch to make it look like she's scared. This is a woman that married an indignant, a whore-mongering, selfish, vain, egotistic prick that had to take her clothes off to become an American. And then we're supposed to honor her because she's a good-looking woman? Well, so she's a good-looking woman, now I'm supposed to honor her, but she's a woman that had to take her clothes off and stay married to a fucking whore-mongering fucking gangster. And you're like, oh, no, you can't say nothing about her, Melina. She's a nice lady. She speaks 8 different languages. So what? She had to take her clothes off and be married to that fucking prick. He cheated on her. He was screwing women while she was pregnant with her son. But that's okay because everyone's divorced now. Everybody cheats. So it's how Trump gets a pass on just about everything that Obama could have never got a pass. If you take 1/3 of the things that he's done in the last year, if Obama did one fraction of that, he'd be cast right. If his wife was a stripper and a whore, they would be all over the media. The conservative Republicans would be beating her up, driving her in the ground, and she's a whore. But now we're so far gone now. Our system's so far fractured now. There's no telling what's going to happen now. I don't see it. I don't see. They can manage to have wars without Congress. Come on. We're dropping how many bombs? 122 some bombs a day? Joint attacks are up. 300,000 children being genocided in Yemen, and they won't even pick it up. And the Pope gets arrested by some sheriff just 2 days ago in Switzerland. What mainstream news wouldn't even cover it? Well, you can look it up. They arrested him, and the guards beat him up, and then the Swiss police put them in jail. But they actually had the cuffs on him and detained him for a few minutes before they got it beat up. And then he took off, and that was supposed to be this world forum of churches from all over the world. We're supposed to meet. They have this ritual thing that they do every summer. And it's not even what the news won't even touch it. See, the news decides the script, and you follow the script. And if you can make money on that script, or you could benefit from that script, you run with it, and that's what everybody's doing.
Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you, man. Great. Amazing call. It's got to be your best call ever, my brother.
Look into that Pope thing. Will you look into that Pope thing for me one more time when you get a chance? Will you look into that, please?
I will, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Wow. Curtis, he kind of killed it tonight, didn't he? Wow. Now, brother, I agree with you that both parties are to blame. I definitely agree with you on that. Even in the age of Trump, it's very difficult because we have I thought it was impossible to happen, Curtis, that we would have people who saw Obama and saw what the Democrats who didn't wake up like nothing, they just ignored the situation with Obama for 2 terms. I thought for sure these people that are pissed off, the Tea Party people, these people are not going to let Trump go in and do similar crap or go in and basically they ignore what he's doing. And it's so disappointing, man. They ignoring Trump just like the Democrats ignored Obama. Same way, brother. Now, only one thing I got to fact check you on. Man, Trump's cabinet is stacked with Republicans, man. Now, people like Steve Mnuchin, he's just a corporatist. He don't give a shit. He gave money to Kamala Harris. He gives money to Republicans and Democrats. In fact, to your point about that not really being too much separation between the two, Debbie Wasserman Schultz supported Republicans in Florida against Democrats. Crowley, look, people are betting right now that Joseph Crowley, who just lost to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, they're betting that he will help Republicans defeat her. I'm not making this up. But yeah, most of Donald Trump's, if not, I'm looking for a Democrat. I mean, we got Jeff Sessions. We got this guy, Ryan Zicke, Republican, Secretary of Interior, Secretary of Defense. Jim Mattis, that's Republican, dude. Ben Carson, Republican. Come on, Rick Perry, Energy, Republican. Betsy DeVos, man, she funded more Republicans. She basically, she's the bank. She's been the bank with all that black ops money. I mean, I'm not finding any real Democrats. But to your point, man, who's this? Scott Pruitt, Republican. Nikki Haley, Republican out of South Carolina. Like Dane Coates, Indiana. National Intelligence or whatever. So, but I do get your point, man, that we have bigger problems than just parties. It's not parties. That's like the illusion. They all work for somebody. Again, bankrolled by somebody. Somebody's funding their campaigns. I agree with you 100%. Like I said, it's one of your better calls, if not the best call. I appreciate you calling in. And frankly, somebody said something like last week, I think it was. It was like, damn, I miss Curtis. It said, I miss Curtis calling up on the show. So we kept it civil. You started off rocky, but then you hung up and you called back and you were right on point, man. But I appreciate you, man. I tell you, man, even when I disagree with people or when we rub each other the wrong way, at the end of the day, we all looking for truth, man. So it's nothing personal, really, you know. We all looking for truth, and we all trying to get the word out about issues we care about. So shout out to Curtis for calling up. I used to call him Crazy Curtis. I got to call him On Fire Curtis tonight. That's On Fire Curtis. Woo! The mic was hot. The mic was hot. Can't follow that guy when he get on a roll like that. So anyway, guys, I want to thank all the callers tonight who called in and made the show special. I appreciate you, from Alan to Autumn to Tony to Byron to Curtis, everybody who called in, to Pat. I still got love for you, Pat. Ain't no hard feelings, brother. And somebody I think I'm missing, man, whose name I didn't write down. But thank you guys so much for calling in and being a part of the show. Remember, this show is funded by you. I'm not funded by the Republicans or the Democrats. I try to get it right. If I get it wrong, correct me, and I'll come out and say I got it wrong. Like, this is not about ego. This is about getting the right information out to good people. That's it. Trying to make people be aware. If you appreciate it and it's something that you value, become a member of the show. That's it. Whether it's $1 or $20 a month, it's on you. You pick. You decide that stuff. Everybody's backs against the wall nowadays. I understand, but some people, if you have a way to do it, become a part. Become a part of the show. Same thing with justinform.com. And Curtis, you can join justinform.com with us, because justinform.com, we don't track you. It's a private website. It's got the S on the end of it, you know what I'm saying? And it's funded by us, like me and Nico House and Suzanne. And we put it together. And that's it. And it's no big money interest. It's nothing. It's just 3 people came together saying, we need an outlet. And everybody was talking about, we need an outlet. And then there'd be these people who pop up that we don't know who create this thing and say, come be a part of this. Well, you know what? I'm all right. So we've succeeded in creating something, and we hope to, at some point, we're going to go make it an app. It's different things we're going to do, but right now it's a website, and you're welcome to join it, and tell them that Tim Black sent you. And thank you once again. All right, man. You know, Curtis said, like, you know, it's going to be an uphill battle. There's going to be an uphill battle for us to get anything done. And I understand this point. And look, I don't want people to think I don't recognize reality. I recognize that we're fighting. I recognize that it's a big fight. I recognize that that it's going to be tough as hell to get things done that are going to actually help people, that's going to take us out of this situation. But I'm just saying, like, what else do you do? Like my man Pat called up earlier. He's like, Tim, what do we do? He's calling from Canada. He's like, how do you deal with this crap? I'm like, well, you got to fight, because you got kids and you got grandkids and you got older parents aging. You want to have kids. You want to go to school, or you're coming out of school. Like you have to go on. So I don't know how to quit. You know, I don't know how to say I give up. I just don't know how to do it. I wish I knew what secret recipes these people are concocting to say I quit. Because you wake up every day. Once you know something, you know it. You can't unknow what you know. So you know this is this way. You know this corruption. You know that, and even what you said about Bernie is true. Dude, when I went to Philly and Bernie endorsed Hillary, I was heartbroken. I didn't go to Philly in the heat. I did not raise money to go to Philadelphia for Bernie to endorse Hillary Clinton. I went there because I thought he would contest it. That's why I went. Many of us would have stayed home if it weren't for us believing that he would contest it. But I'm so glad I went, even though he did endorse Hillary, because I met thousands of people, created thousands of relationships. Well, hundreds of relationships. many relationships. And I never would have been able to do that. Nor would I have been around these people who have this vision for the country and know these people exist. You know, the internet's great. I love the internet. I use the internet every day. You're watching me on the internet. But I swear, man, there was nothing like being in person with people. So, but I do feel you on the fact that, yeah, I was disappointed. I was disappointed, period. It's okay to say I was disappointed. You know? The fact of the matter is there aren't that many MLKs and Malcolm X's around. There aren't that many JFKs, RFKs, think about it, who are willing to die or lose everything behind what they believe. Like, you know, would I have done it? No. I would not have endorsed Hillary. Even if it cost me my seat, even if it cost me my life, I would not have done it. But I'm stupid. I'm like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas when he had that conversation on the there was a banker that took his money. He gave this banker some money to invest for him, and then he was trying to track down the banker, and he's at Robert De Niro's house, something Diamond, Lester Diamond's house, and the banker's there with Lester Diamond, and Joe Pesci walks in. He's like, "Hey, you! Hey, I've been looking for you. You're a hard guy to catch up with." He's like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, you don't return my phone calls." He's like, "Well, yeah. So I've been meaning to talk to you about my money." And the banker says, well, yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you about that too. There's been a couple of losses. Sometimes things happen. You know, you make investments, things don't work out the way you think they're going to work out. And, you know, things happen in investments. And Joe Pesci just looks at him and he says, "Yeah, really? Yeah, I'm going to have to ask you to give my money back. I think I want my money back." He's like, "Oh, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. I just can't give you money back." He said, "You can't give my money back." He's like, "No, it's investment. You know, you take chances. There's risk, certain amount of risk, blah, blah, blah." And Joe Pesci looked at him, and this is me. This is how I feel. Joe Pesci looked at him and he said, "Listen, in all fairness, I think it's only right that I explain what it is that I do. For instance, tomorrow, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to make some eggs. I'm going to walk down to the coffee shop. On my way to the coffee shop, I'm going to stop by the bank. I'm going to stop by the bank to see you. If you don't have my money, I'm going to split your head open in front of everybody at the bank." He said, by the time, he said, and they're going to lock me up, they're going to send me to jail. By the time I come out of jail, about the same time you'll be coming out of your coma. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna come down to the hospital, and I'm gonna split your head open again. 'Cause I'm stupid. I go to jail. It's my business. And we both know what your business is, don't we? You screw people out of money and get away with it. Well, if I come down there tomorrow, you don't have my money. I don't know. I just got on that. I love that scene. I love that scene. You know? I'm going to put you in the ground. I'm going to dig a hole and put you in the ground. Something like that. But it was an amazing scene. The bottom line is I'm stupid like that. I just had these like things that I believe in. And I'm like, you know what? Psst. Hey, you know, sometimes I believe that you can't live forever, and no matter what you do, you can't get out of this alive, so why sell out? That's me. But I also recognize everybody's not like that. I recognize that some people go, "Hey, I've been working at this for 40 years. What do I look like giving it all away? I would like to see my kids grow up. I would like to do this. I would like to do that. I have grandbabies. Like, I get it, you know? Like, I just feel like, hey, you know, like, I had a pretty good run. You know? I had a pretty good run. You know, I guess you're gonna have to come send them for me. I don't know. I mean, that's how I feel, but I understand everybody's not that way. I get it. You know. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I got on a tear because I love that scene. I've been trying to. I've been trying to watch it again. I remember it very well. Well, actually, not that well. There's some parts I messed up. But yeah. What can I tell you? We fight, Curtis. We fight for what we believe in. There's other people, they don't fight, that's on them. It takes the fighters and it takes the non-fighters, and then it takes the people that wake up and they fight later, and everybody, it's like all these different people, you know. You got your people that are negative, your people that are positive, your people that are call themselves realists, people that call themselves optimists. You know, you got all these people. All these people make up the world in which we live, right? My thing is, if I'm going to do all the heavy lifting, all you do is sit around and complain, and this is not to you, Curtis, this is general, then that bothers me. Because if we do see any gains, you get to benefit from those gains. Meanwhile, you're not doing any of the work. So I fight because that's what's in me to do. Maybe it'll inspire other people to fight, and maybe we will get something done. But I know doing nothing is not going to help anything. I know that. Like that, I'm positive of. If you don't fight, you get your ass kicked. That I believe 100%. Because when I was a kid growing up, that used to happen. And then I started fighting. I got my ass kicked a lot less. So fighting helps. I'm not violent. Yeah, until you get punched in the mouth. Then it's like, oh, okay. Well, either this keeps happening. You know, this keeps happening. Or you start learning how to do these. So I think we need more of these in situations like this. That's it, guys. If you live in the Maryland area, you live anywhere near D.C., northern, Charles County, Prince George's County, even Montgomery County if you want to make the drive. Next week, July 7th? Go to my Facebook page, Real Tim Black. I think it's July 7th. I will be at Martini's Lounge doing stand-up comedy. Hey, look, it's not my show. I'm just doing this. I can't do it. I have to start doing comedy on my own and not just waiting for Lee Camp to hit a brother up and say, hey, come do something. I got to start doing my own thing. And so I'm going to be at Martini's on a Friday night. If you ain't doing nothing, you want to come through. I heard they got some amazing lobster rolls. And come there, get something to eat, get a beer, meet your brother Tim Black, laugh for the night. Some of you guys really need a laugh in your life, so come through and do that. I got some new material that I'll be doing that I'm working on currently. I got a great set I'm working on, and I'd love for you to come check it out in person. Because I'm crazy. I'm stupid. I like jail. That's my business. What else? And we know what your business is, don't we? You like to screw people out of money and get away with it. That's it, guys. I think that's all I got. I think that's it for the night. I think it was a pretty successful night. All right, so we haven't done this in a while, but let's do it this way. All right. This weekend, you're probably going to run into some people, some friends, family, acquaintances that you feel comfortable with, and the issue of politics or a similar issue may come up. Right? Something comes up. They may start to talk about something, and they may talk about this issue without any facts that are actual facts. They may start using what is known as alternative facts. Damn it. They might start using alternative facts. Here's the thing. Instead of you going into a diatribe of all of the things they got wrong, don't do that. That never works. What works is you pick one thing. One thing that if they research that one thing, it will be very instrumental in opening their eyes. That's what we call sprinkle some facts. So you say one thing like, hey, Yeah. Oh, wow. You're right. That is kind of crazy what you're saying, even though it doesn't make much sense. But did you know that in 2016, certain states that Bernie won for some reason because of superdelegates, even though he won, he lost because the superdelegates voted for Hillary, even though the state voted for Bernie? All right, guys. See you later. That's all. And then maybe they'll get curious. They'll look it up and they go, oh, man, this is true. It was like, wow, he won. And then the superdelegates came in and he ended up getting either less points, less votes, or equal votes with Hillary in certain states. Oh, wow, this is interesting. You could win and still lose because of superdelegates. Wow, they don't have superdelegates on the Republican side. Maybe that's what some people mean when they say the Democratic Party is corrupt. They have a system that is direct that was created to stop grassroots candidates from actually being elected. Look at that. That's crazy. And they call themselves Democratic. Anyway. So sprinkle some facts on them and get out of there. That's what you do. Sprinkle some facts on them and get out of there. That's it, guys. Remember, don't let nobody take your cornbread. That's our other thing. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. And believe me, people are trying to take your cornbread. You got to stop them. You got to hang on to your cornbread. That is your cornbread. You don't owe nobody your cornbread. Your cornbread is anything that's important to you, your privacy, your rights to live, love, whoever you want, live where you want to live, have the ability to take care of you and your family, to do so in peace, to be able to get a job, not be discriminated against for whatever reason. These are certain things that we need to fight for. That's our cornbread. Being able to vote, and that vote actually count towards the candidate of your choice. These are cornbread-related things. They got a little butter on them. Whatever you like, cinnamon. Some people put pineapples. I'm like, pineapples, that sounds good. But whatever, a little brown sugar. I don't know, whatever you do. I didn't say, look, all you people are self-conscious, I get it. I didn't say eat the whole thing. You can just eat a slice and save the rest. But keep your cornbread. I'm Tim Black. I see you guys on Monday. I got new content coming. Come to my page. Check it out. Go to my website if you're interested in hiring a speaker who's going to rock the crowd like I will be rocking it on Friday. Go to TimBlackTV.com. Until we meet again, I'm Tim Black, Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I love you. Peace.
Tim Black.
And to all my people on Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Blog Talk Radio, and Stitcher Radio. Much respect.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Laura Glennie, Dreamweaver. Laura Glennie, thank you so much. And money isn't real. We need to stop participating in a system that seeks to enslave us. And cheers to you as well, Dreamweaver. One more time for everybody, all of my super chat people. And I'm thinking about doing a show on the weekend. But I don't, I want it not to, I want to find out what day does Jimmy does this show. He does this show on Saturday, right? Then we'll have to do a Sunday show. And it's all chat related. So whatever day Jimmy doesn't do, because this is admitted, man, ain't no competition. Can't compete with Jimmy Dore. So, I mean, and plus people I wouldn't want you, my people that love me, to have to choose, right? That ain't good. Like, we shouldn't be opposite each other. We should be on the same side. So whatever day Jimmy's on, I'm going to be the other day. I think he's on Saturday. I'll do Sunday. I'll find out. I'll put out the word, guys, and let you know. All right, so keep your notifications on. Put your notifications on my channel for YouTube as well as for Facebook and Twitter. All right, go.